So, we've had the South African budget speech and the vast commentary that comes with it. Some of it boring, some of it misguided, and some of it absolutely brilliant. However, as always, I am far more interested in what was not said than what was said. In my view, there are 5 things that absolutely should have been done, but weren't, and probably weren't even in the conversation. But I think these are things that many of us know and think and discuss frequently. Here they are. In my view, there are 5 things that would almost immediately turn us around and make us the global darling. Investment would flood in, innovation would boom, and the stagnation would come to an end. We would be on a path to prosperity. Number 1, stop dividing people up by race for different treatment. Number 2, guarantee property rights. Of course, the rhetoric about mass expropriation is probably a bit emotional. We aren't systematically confiscating farms. However, the threat, even modest, is hugely damaging. Expropriation without compensation needs to be shut down. NHI, the National Health Insurance, which is not that at all, it is socialization of healthcare. This, again, the threat is enough to have many doctors leave. I've seen this. Doctors I know and have been treated by disappearing. Again, the economic debate is not so much a debate. We know what happens. Socializing healthcare will be damaging for just about everyone. Here I'll use the words of Frans Cronje: burn the coal. Literally, we need to burn the coal for energy. But more generally, that term for me means we cannot have restrictive environmental policies. We need productivity, we need energy. These things, in the end, make us more of a services, more efficient economy. We cannot afford to limit commerce and innovation, add costs to business based on, in my view, some quite radical climate ideologies. And finally, I'll call it the Javier Milei afuera approach. We need to cut the size of the government, I would say quite drastically. We can look at the chart of freedom and GDP per capita, and the greater the freedom, the greater the prosperity. Our government seems intent on continuing to believe that they're one restrictive policy away from utopia. This means more government departments, more government jobs, more commissions, more presidential bodies. We've seen the impact of Javier Milei's afuera, taking entire government departments and saying, well, these are very expensive, they may do some good work, but this is not government's job. And in fact, all of that money would be far more productive if it was used, or left rather, in the private sector. What these governments do is take money from what we know are productive uses. That's because they're producing a profit, they're paying salaries, soaking up that money and using it in places where some central committee thinks it will do some good. So those are my 5 things. 5 things which for the most part, were not touched on. I suppose we can look at small things like increasing the amount we can invest tax-free, but I think we're well beyond small nudges. The things that will turn this country around, that will address mass poverty, mass unemployment, and frankly terrible suffering for most South Africans, is dramatic. It is not tinkering, it's not gradualism. 5 things that weren't discussed, weren't acted on, but should have.